I made these brush holders, and I took some old wine crates, 2-inch shipping tubes, and plywood, and I drilled using a doorknob drill bit. I drilled holes in the plywood and put these shipping tubes in here. And my brushes are bristles, synthetics, sables, large to small. Everything's right there when I need it. So I teach a class on color. I've taught some lectures. I also teach an oil painting class at Scottsdale Art School, and I cover some of this stuff. Basically, my color system is based on the Munsell color system, which organizes color into HVC, hue, value, and chroma. So hue is the particular color, red, yellow, purple. Value is light to dark, and chroma is neutral to high chroma. The problem with oil painting is that the manufacturer's tubes come in high chroma colors. So this is a string of reds, which means it's dark red to light red. And it's basically this string of colors. My paints are organized so that I start from like a chroma 4, which is right in here. So I basically start from a chroma 4, which is not too neutral and not too highly chromatic. Build my paintings more in the neutral field of color, and then I start punching in those high chroma areas as I go, or I can neutralize some things. And all my paint streams are laid out here: yellow, orange, red, violets, blue, green, all in the same color range as the Munsell system or the rainbow. It's just really easy to grab the color I need and to go high chroma with it or neutralize it. So when I build a painting, I typically build it from these neutrals. And this is a particularly neutral painting, more neutral than a lot of the ones that I do. And when I go into the high chroma, I can hit those notes. Like, this is not maximum chroma. This is like 2 steps down from maximum. If I would have went maximum chroma in here, it would have blown this whole painting apart. So it's got to be harmonious, but it also has to have that full range of neutrals to high chroma, just enough where it all holds together. And a lot of my color schemes are based on Japanese woodblock designs. So this one is like a sea of neutrals with threads of high chroma color going through it, which I think is super sexy, super beautiful. Some of these high chroma notes, the blues, the yellows, the reds, I reflected these little high chroma notes in this neutral head, so there is kind of a counterbalance here in the end. If you get up close to this painting, you can pick up some of the blues, yellows, the same exact colors I used over here, little color surprises. So there was a movement in European art in the late 1800s, and it's called Japanism. And it's when Japan opened up after being closed for 100 years, and Europe got a hold of these scarves and Japanese woodblock prints. And a lot of artists like Klimt, Van Gogh, a lot of famous artists used the Japanese influence in their art. But a lot of my paintings the color scheme is influenced by the Japanese woodblocks as well. And these are some of the books that I look at that inspire my art. And it's funny because it's Western American art influenced by Asian design. But I absolutely love this stuff. It's so elegant and gorgeous. And this color scheme's surprisingly are really relevant for modern art today. Flat file system represents all the work that's gone into making me the artist I am today. This drawer is drawings, and here's some drawings that I used to do in high school. I used to draw a lot of Frazetta stuff, and this is all by hand, no tracing. So I was doing this kind of stuff in high school. There's a lot of things that are out of proportion, and this is ink. It's very unforgiving. I might sketch it out in pencil and ink. Used to do a lot of caricature stuff. After art school, I studied with a guy named Larry Wallum here in Tucson, and I took his weekly class for 3 years, and he taught us how to draw in graphite. That's a portrait of my dad from a photo, but all of these are drawn from life in his class with no measurement tools. It's just comparative drawing, measuring with your pencil and drawing. So I went there for 3 years and would set up all kinds of still lifes and just draw from life. After that, I took open studio figure drawing for 6 or 7 years and just drew from life while I worked as an illustrator. So these are 2-hour paintings from life in charcoal. Sometimes that's a 30-minute drawing. Sometimes it was less than a couple hours, 1.5 hours. So pretty quick, really, when you consider every 15 minutes the model's taking a break. This drawer is all life drawings. This was an experiment with charcoal and acetone. And all these are oil paintings, 1 to 3 hours long from live models. And I did many years of this. All experimental. Experiment with palette knife, color, high chroma, neutrals. So many, many miles of canvas here. I went through a period where I did a lot of plein air work, and most of it was for study purposes, but I did some plein air shows. This is a 20-minute painting of the ranch near here. Just trying to capture the light. It's super abstract, but it captures everything I needed in there. It's a little tree study. This was up in Wyoming. Indirect light. I love trees, the movement of trees, trying to capture the color and the movement. A lot of really bad life paintings of horses because they move every 5 seconds. But it's good to get out and capture that light. So I have done a ton of landscape paintings, way more than what's in this drawer. So there's also an abstract element to my work in the backgrounds and sometimes in the subject. I've done a lot of experimentation with all kinds of textures and paint, and I've taken a few abstract classes. And it sort of brought the fun back into painting for me, and it's a good contrast to all the realism that I've practiced. So this has gold foil pressed into the paint. This is scratches, dry pigment, all kinds of techniques. So these are just experiments, mark making.